Okay, what is going on, CYPRX advanced YouTubers? Welcome back to the CYPRX YouTube page. In today's video breakdown, we are going to be covering some Gbpjpy trades that we placed here on CYPRX. I'm going to also go over a couple of the students' trade entries as well. So if you guys are interested in learning about cryptocurrencies, commodities, indices, foreign exchange, and how to trade them properly utilizing technical analysis, please go ahead and consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. Let's dive into today's video breakdown. So before we get started, I'm just going to show you guys the screenshot proof in the Discord chat from all the trade entries that we placed and my screenshots as well. I'm also going to show you guys a screenshot of my MT4 entry. I traded with 70 lots this morning, was a nice $8,000 profit on my end. And so I entered here at 156690, as you guys can see on the MetaTrader 4 display. And my risk reward ratio was about a 1-to-4 risk reward ratio. And I actually took profit a little bit early at this high here. And then so moved my stops to break even after that trade entry profit taking criteria. And then the trade rallied and finished off the 1-to-4 risk reward ratio. And I had about maybe 40% left running on that trade once the take profit overall was smashed. So I'll go into this trade entry here. We can also see a screenshot of a CYPRX advanced student of ours. Her name is Lisette. She had a beautiful entry down here in this area. So if we have time in today's video breakdown, I'll go over potentially what she saw on the charts as well. Same patterns that we identify in the market, same key concepts that I used here to take this trade, she used to take this trade entry here as well. So you guys can see her screenshot. And then we also had Thomas. He was another trader on the CYPRX Advanced Course Mentorship who was able to catch the same exact trade as myself. And you guys can see his screenshot here as well. So without further ado, you guys know that I like to show and prove that the students are active in the community group chat, and you guys are more than welcome to join that mentorship. That link's in the description down below for anybody that is interested. But going over this trade here, all right, my entry criteria and what it is that I teach to you guys here on the YouTube channel, we can see here that in this New York session, all right, from around 6 a.m. to 8:30 a.m., this window of opportunity, collectively speaking, we see manipulation in the market. The market isn't really trending. It's not realistically doing anything except moving sideways. We see a high coming in at around 6 a.m. At around 156950, and then the market kind of just trends down and creates right before this 8:30 a.m. drop, okay, equal highs. So for me as a CYPRX trader, when I see this massive market move to the downside, okay, on the lower time frame, I'll go ahead and on the higher time frame, let me just compare the charts for you guys real fast. Switch this over to Gbpjpy. All right, so we'll go into correlation with the higher time frame. So here on the right-hand side of my charts, I have the 1-minute chart, and here on the left-hand side, okay, we can see the 4-hour chart. But let's just drop this down to the 15-minute because we're scalpers. That time frame is going to be more relevant to us in comparison than what the 4-hour chart is doing. Okay, so here, if I put on my session indicator and I get rid of these moving averages so they don't confuse you guys, what can we see? On the 15-minute chart, we see previous New York session and where they purchased from. So that's here in this area, right? So this is a low that New York session set the prior or previous trading day to the one that we're operating in, and they set a low as to where they purchased price from. So in this range, okay, I guess, you know, order block traders like to call it an order block or whatever the case may be, but in this range, we can see that this is the general area where the bank and institutions, prior to the session that we're trading in, on the higher time frame, purchased price action at. Okay, so if they're going to purchase price action again, most likely this is the discounted area if we're taking our fib from the low, again, after the grab of liquidity, the significant higher low that was formed that led us to a break in structure. Okay, same principles that I teach you guys, we can see that the market dipped back down into that discounted range on the higher time frame of what? 70 to 79%, which is again that sweet spot that I like to mention to you guys here on the YouTube channel. Okay, so we see that, and we can use that in tandem with trading on the fractal nature of things to move in tandem with what? The higher time frame, because obviously higher time frame is king, right? If you guys aren't taking notes, take some notes. So if we use this in correlation with where Lisette entered in, and I'll show you again that screenshot down here in this area, she most likely had the higher time frame on the left-hand side, trading in tandem with the right-hand side, and she could see clearly that this, again, on the fractal nature of things, was a grab of liquidity, which is what I teach to you guys on the YouTube channel. Okay, we see the market dip into this potential area of liquidity. We know on the higher time frame, we are operating inside of what? A discounted region. Okay, why? because if we take our Fibonacci from the higher low after the sweep of liquidity, we get what? We're operating in discounted pullback material or area, right? Whatever you want to call it. We are also operating at psychological levels, which I'm not going to get into detail on, but we can see after the sweep of liquidity, what does the market do? It moves and shifts direction. Okay, so now the market has completely engulfed with bullish momentum. See this bullish sweep of liquidity and then shift away from psychological levels, and price breaks previous market structure. So now this market structure high has been violated. Okay, so we can identify this, and this is exactly what Lisette did. She identified this as a break in market structure. Okay, so now not only are we trading in tandem with the higher time frame, potentially being in discounted price, we've seen a signal from the market that the market wants to move higher, and now we see the market start to create higher highs and higher lows. Now I was patient enough to wait for bullish confirmation, but Lisette was a little bit more risky with her trade, and she entered after the sweep of liquidity when price set a higher low, and that's right here. You guys can see the screenshot. This is around where Lisette's entry was. All right. So this was valid entry criteria based off of what I teach to the CYPRX students, based off of what I teach to you guys on YouTube. All right. For a trade potential setup of at least a minimum of 1 to 3 risk reward ratio, if Lisette was targeting these previous highs where we can see price sold off from, the bank and institutions most likely understand and know that what? Stop losses exist above these highs in the form of liquidity. So the market's going to want to take those stop losses, right? Which we can see that's exactly what the market did, which confirms my entry. Okay, so now to go over to my trade breakdown. All right, so that was kind of going over Lisette's trade breakdown and how she was able to utilize the higher time frame in tandem with the lower time frame to capitalize on this beautiful risk to reward. But I know that I missed this move down here. So how now as a CYPRX trader, I have to ask myself, can I get in on the trend back to the upside potentially, right? How am I going to get in on that move? Well, if we're looking at price action trending, okay, we know that if it's trending up, it needs to make higher highs, higher lows, and then potentially consolidate, grab more liquidity beneath previous market set lows, and then rally higher, right? Or something like that. But the market has to create higher highs and higher low formations. Inside of these higher high, higher low formations, we will look to seek to grab internal liquidity, okay? So right here in this area, exactly what it is that I teach to you guys, we started to see the pattern form. Okay, where we see the market create a brand new market structure A to B move or create a new high, right? So we see the market again trending. So from the higher low to the new high, we can expect that any price action that comes back into this area and holds is a what? A higher low potentially being formed. Okay, so right here, if you look at where my entry was at 156690, when the market dipped back into liquidity and got sent back to the upside higher to come and do what? Target these equal highs. Again, retail resistance, where we can assume people were selling this double top pattern or double top formation. Okay, the market came and attacked that. But to get in on this moving trend, look at exactly what we did and what it is that I teach here on the CYPRX course material. Okay, can you guys identify what it is that I teach without me saying anything? Can you just see what it is that I teach? Okay, we see a bullish move that matches bearish momentum. So now again, we have a new significant area where we can see the market makers creating an equal amount of momentum in the market prior to the previous push down that failed to break market structure. So we are now trending up. Okay, we see a higher low, which we've measured. We see a higher high. Now we're operating inside of a new range, and we failed to break that range, and we matched it with bullish momentum. So now what is the market potentially doing? Again, setting internal liquidity, which is what I mentioned to you guys when I was just drawing that stuff out. The market will take internal liquidity and then shift back to the upside, right? So what do we see here? We see internal liquidity areas. So as long as this overall higher low in comparison to the previous one holds, we are most likely going to come and attack the liquidity above what? These highs here and these highs here. Okay, this is just all logic in the market. So what do we see? We see the market give another signal that again, bulls are still in control of the market, and boom, right here, this wick, look at where this wick taps into. It taps into this liquidity pool internally and this liquidity pool internally, and then the market shifts momentum. So my entry, again, just taking my Fibonacci and based off of Fibonacci trades, I know that a lot of people like that tool, okay? But if we're just utilizing it in tandem with what it is that I teach, surrounding a liquidity grab, how can we start to build our confluences? We see taking the fib from the higher low to the new high, we extend that over, and what can we see? 62 to 70 to 79% discounted entry, and boom, we see a rally. This was a beautiful 1 to 3 risk to reward RR that myself and Thomas caught. You guys can see his screenshot here and my screenshot as well. Beautiful trade entry here on Gbpjpy. Absolutely amazing trading day in my personal opinion. I caught a move early on in the session that I'm not going to get into, but it was right here. And we can see the same principle. Okay, the same principle applies. We see a sweep of liquidity beneath these lows. Okay, look at the entry right here before the market pretty much took me out at break even, because I had moved my stops to break even after this rally, and I did not take any partials on this trade, unfortunately, but it's okay because we were able to double that here, all right, on this trade entry. However, same principles apply, right? We see a sweep of that liquidity. We see a failure to break the previous low. We see a shift in momentum. Now the market has given us a signal that it wants to go higher by breaking previous market structure. All I did to catch this little tiny scalp was take my Fibonacci from the low to the high. Again, the higher low after the sweep of liquidity that sends price higher. It's the same methodologies. And what do we see? Discounted price of 70 to 79%. So if you guys are having trouble drawing your Fibonacci properly, if you are actively trading in the markets, whether it's a live account or a demo account, if you're having trouble learning all this order block crap, you know, how to move in tandem with the banks and institutions on YouTube trend that's happening right now, and you can't understand support resistance methodologies, they're not working for you, your indicators that you're purchasing or that you're downloading on your TradingView aren't working for you, and you're having a hard time really understanding price action, then I'm telling you guys right now, the mentorship is for you. Take it upon yourselves and elevate your trading career. Understand how to really understand these markets properly, aside from order blocks, aside from institutional money and things of that nature. Actually understanding how candlesticks print, why they print, what they're doing when they print, and how to react to them after they print. Okay? Then click that link in the description down below. Blessings to you guys all. I hope that you enjoyed this video breakdown. Lots and bits and pieces of information. I hope that you guys have been picking up gems on gems on gems. You know, I do display to you guys that I don't give you guys all the information that I give to the CYPRX students, but I feel like what I give is valuable. And if you do like this information, please make sure that you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are trying to grow our channel here. Really do appreciate the love and the support. Again, as always, be cognizant, be aware. And I will see you guys in the next video breakdown.